going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new series that I've decided to launch. It goes by the name of Karting Experiences. This is basically going to be me going around the country, going to various different karting tracks and taking part in various different karting events. I've decided to make Karting Experiences because I want to branch out from the BKC. I want to do things a bit different to just simply Swansea. Whilst I love Swansea, it's nice to do things different. Today we're going to be going to Buckmore Park, and I say we because others are going to be involved, and we're going to be doing the 45 Solo Enduro at night in December, where, guess what, it's cold, like really cold, like minus 0.5 degrees cold. I mean, look at that, just ridiculous. So you know that things are going your way when the moment you arrive at a set of traffic lights they turn from red to green, although dark roads such as this one, for example, do put the fear of God into you, especially when there's somebody just too far in front of you to put your full beam on, and therefore you can't see the whole road, and that is scary in my book. Although something less scary is getting through a set of green traffic lights once again, and then even less scary is going past the best petrol station in Kent, the Borough Green Esso Garage. Bit of a mixed bag when it comes to emotions and roundabouts. Some people hate them, some people love them. Personally, I can take them or leave them. As we now join the motorway, and we're having a whale of a time. Coming off the motorway now and joining a dual carriageway, and when I was learning to drive, I always wondered what the big deal was about going from a dual carriageway onto a motorway. I mean, as far as I could work out, the only difference between the two was that one had an extra lane, both had 70-mile-an-hour speed limits. What was the big issue? Cut forward to my very first motorway lesson, where within 2 minutes I'd nearly sideswiped a Citroen. Our run of good luck with green lights comes to an abrupt halt. We head down another dimly lit road and probably arrive at our destination. Welcome to Buckmore Park, where for the first time in 7 years of coming here, it's icy. This is going to be interesting. I've done rain, I've done sleet, but I've never done ice before. I get myself signed on, go and get changed, and normally at this point I like to get myself a burger, but unfortunately I was unable to this time, as I was immediately whisked off upstairs to the driver's briefing, which normally at Buckmore is highly entertaining and very engaging. Let's have a listen.
Hey, we're here in the clubhouse. Once we finish your safety briefing, we'll be going downstairs. Your cart numbers will appear on the board out there. Okay, please make sure you get into the right...
Maybe not so much anymore then. So with the driver's briefing now done, I can reveal who is joining me on this fine night. The first person joining me is walking away from me. Okay, never mind, we'll go try for somebody else. And we can see that the first person joining me tonight is Adrian Porter, former captain of the Swansea University Motorsport team. And we all know who this man is. It is, of course, a fashion statement of 2017. Adam Pugh, looking resplendent and magnificent as ever in his full white suit and white lid. And where there is an Adam, you will always find Simon, Adam's dad. He's looking a bit cold here. I feel a bit sorry for him, but oh well. So yeah, that's the three of us who are taking part tonight. Should also mention that Adam's lovely mum came along to watch and also to film. They all came from Dorset just for a 45-minute endurance race, so strong effort there from the Pugh family. So before we crack on with the business of racing, I should point out that the four of us being here tonight is by no means a coincidence. You see, last year we all did exactly the same event at exactly the same time, and that one was a coincidence. So this year we've decided to turn it into an annual event, and we've decided to call it the FOBLAC Cup, which stands for Four Blokes and Karting. The winner of the FOBLAC Cup will be the recipient of this quite frankly magnificent trophy supplied by Adrian, and the loser will be the recipient of this quite frankly scummy and disgusting horn supplied by Simon. So with all the preparation done and dusted, it's about time we got on board with a bit of racing. However, this is where we run into a bit of a problem. You see, at Buckmore Park, helmet cameras are forbidden, ever since it was proven that the reason Michael Schumacher ended up with the head injuries that he did was because of the helmet camera mounting on his ski helmet. Ever since then, the MSA banned helmet cameras, and Buckmore Park maintained this rule. It is a bit annoying, considering that the Club 100 allow helmet cameras, and as do the BUKC, so you go to Buckmore Park with either of them, you can use your helmet camera, but go there for an official Buckmore Park event? Nah, not happening. So yeah, it is a bit annoying. We don't actually have any onboard helmet camera footage of today's race. However, I was on board to do some filming, so we do have a little bit of filming just so you can see what the conditions were like, what was going on. So I'll do a bit of a commentary over that, and I'll use some old videos of mine just to sort of fill in the gaps and explain a few things, what went on, and also use them as demonstrations. So the first of videos hopefully shows what conditions were like. Entry into hairpin 1 was basically dry, but exit was effectively the wet line. And then we got up to hairpin 2, and oh my, hairpin 2, it was fantastic. As you see there, I get sent for an absolute picnic. It was complete ice. It was just ridiculous. I mean, get anywhere near the throttle, you're going straight on and probably into the barriers, and with no hope of recovering it. The left-hander there was very treacherous as well. Get too much on the throttle, you're going straight into the barriers, and you're going to have a very, very unhappy day. So the story of qualifying was that Adam finished the best of us. He finished in a very respectable P5, which I think is what he managed last year as well. So well done, Adam. Good consistency. Adrian was just behind him in P7, improving massively on his performance last year when he finished P18. Simon was a little bit further back in P10, and then completely inexplicably, I was down in P15. Not entirely sure how that happened, as I know for a fact I'm very good in the wet, mainly down to my immense racing skill, but also in part down to my rather considerable gut over the other three. Being heavy has many disadvantages in karting, but in the wet it gives you more grip, and therefore I wasn't particularly worried about my comparatively low qualifying position. So the race for the Fod Black Trophy gets underway. This is a matter of life and death, and even though it's a 45-minute race, the start is still everything. As we head into the first corner, you can see there it looks like Adam's got a very good start. He might even be up to P3. In fact, I can confirm that he is. You see the white-headed man coming through. Adrian's only behind him in P5, and I'd made a very good start coming into their first hairpin. I was already alongside Simon, and we see there Adam's already up into P2. A fantastic start from the fashion statement of 2017. As we come through the almost slow-motion second hairpin, still going round, still going round, still going round. Looks like Adam is still in P2. Yes, he is. He's fighting for first. Oh my God, there goes Adrian. Adrian's been sent for an absolute picnic as well. And Adam there still in P2, doing a very good job. I actually managed to get past Simon, as we're about to see myself come through here any minute. Yep, there we go. There goes Simon, there goes me. And so yeah, the start went very well for us. Adrian currently picking up the horn. But that wasn't what the most important thing was at the start. The most important thing was, what's number 10 doing with his hands? Has he got music in or something? I mean, what is that?
Now you're gone, I realize my love for you was strong, and I miss you.
In terms of the race itself, well, it was absolute carnage. I mean, you'd get caught up in little moments like that with traffic, and you'd come to just a stuttering halt. Other moments would be plodding along nice and fine, happy as a daisy, and then bam, you had yourself a spin, and, well, you lost all the ground you made up. There were other moments, however, where you knew you were spinning, you'd try and save it, but you just come to a pathetic, juddering halt. In terms of the Fod Black Trophy, after his spin, Adrian recovered pretty well and just buggered off into the distance. Me and Adam, on the other hand, had some very good races as I, in brackets, overtake him here, and as we come now up into the really slow, icy second hairpin, Adam gets back at me. This was a very good overtaking spot depending on what line you took and what your throttle application was like. Me and Adam continued to fight throughout sort of majority of the second half of the race, and this is another demonstration, not exactly the same clip as I showed you earlier, of me overtaking Adam. Did I finish in front of him though? We will have to wait and see. As for Simon, on the other hand, well, he had a few embarrassing little bits, such as that one. He had a few moments such as spins and collisions, and bless his heart, he couldn't really keep up with the rest of us. But you never know, he might have caught up with us at the end. Me and Adam, throughout the race, we tried moments of cleverness. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it just didn't, and we'd end up spinning or miles off the track and lose all the places that we had picked up. Excluding my fights with Adam, there would be moments where at some point someone would overtake me and I'd be very unhappy about that and try and get back at them. Generally speaking, I was able to get back at them in the end, but in this clip obviously I wasn't. There, example being up against Adrian. And there'd also be the times where you'd overtake someone at one corner, and then the very next lap you'd all of a sudden be overtaking them again, as due to spins, lack of talent, or just the fact that I'm a really good racer and I'm just that quick enough to already lap them the following lap. Another good thing about changeable conditions like these is that you can pull off overtakes in places you wouldn't expect them to, such as down into Cafe Curve. That was always a fun one, very difficult to do in the dry. However, one of the disadvantages of changeable conditions such as these was that you can end up with some spectacular crashes like that one. Obviously not as spectacular as that one. That is still the best crash I've ever been involved in. I'll probably do another video on that later. But yeah, a lot of crashes were very bottom clenching, especially into Cafe Curve, particularly for myself and for quite a lot of other people, and it got so bad in the end that one of the barriers was in such a bad condition because it had been hit so many times that the race director had to call the race 3 minutes early, and that brought to the end arguably one of the most entertaining races I've ever been involved in, and it's quite typical of 45 Enduros. Everyone I've done have all been incredibly entertaining. So again, this is just another disappointment why we can't have GoPros at Buckmore for these races. So with all that said and done, it's now time to reveal what happened in the Fod Black Trophy. As I mentioned earlier, after his spin, Adrian got past me, he also got past Adam, and he basically buggered off completely into the distance and was never seen by anyone at the end. And for that, he was able to take home the Fod Black Trophy, which again is a bit ironic because it was his trophy, so he's just able to take his trophy home again. Not only that, he was also able to get onto the podium for the actual race. He finished in a very good P3. Look at him, look how happy he is. Actually, to be fair, a good effort that. Although I did set a faster lap time than him, I'm just saying. I was able to finish in P2 in the Four Black Trophy, in P6 overall in the race, and Adam got himself up into, I think it was P8 in the end, and he finished third, which obviously left the disgusting and crummy horn to go to Simon. He had just a few too many spins at the start, left him squandering at the back, but he still managed to finish P10, so a decent result in the end. So with that, the Pugh family set off on their long journey back to Dorset, and all that's left for me to say is thank you very much for watching the first episode of Karting Experiences. Again, I can only apologise for the lack of GoPros. Hopefully Buckmore will get their act together and allow people to use them at their events. I'm hoping that the next place I go to will allow me to use GoPros, so hopefully there's that to look forward to. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, share, all that jazz, and all that's left for me to now say is ta-ta and farewell.